murder suspect, believe it or not, stabbed his own lawyer with a pen. Lawyer is surprisingly okay with it. So put up the picture full mass. Hell of a story here. In Oakland, Ramello Randle, who was on trial in the killing of his ex-girlfriend, cut through a lap restraint and attacked his own attorney with a pen, then lunged toward the prosecutor, creating a chaotic courtroom scene Monday as a Contra Costa County jury watched, officials said. Randle is now facing additional charges of attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and battery, all done in front of the jury, who already is weighing if he's guilty of killing his ex-girlfriend. His defense attorney, Matt Fregi, said he harbored, quote, no ill will toward his client, who had already cycled through multiple attorneys before him. Quote, nothing serious, he said about his injuries. Quote, everyone thought it was a lot more serious than it was, end quote. Keep that attorney up. Sir, you have to be the nicest attorney on the planet Earth. Talk about fierce advocacy for your client. This man literally said, hey, even though he stabbed me in front of everybody, it actually seemed worse than what it was. Wow. Details of the case. Randle is accused of working with Christopher Slaughter to track 24-year-old Janae LaCale Bridges with a GPS attached to her car, July 2020. Bridges and Randle had been embroiled in a bitter child custody battle. Prosecutors said Randle followed her to a 7-Eleven in Antioch and fired into her car where she was sitting with another man. The man was also hit by gunfire but survived. Bridges was killed. Slaughter, who was a co-defendant in the case, took a plea deal. Outbursts in Randle's case are nothing new. And this fracas raises questions about whether Superior Court Judge John W. Kennedy, who's presiding over the case, will now declare a mistrial. In 2022, a previous judge declared a mistrial after Randle, who at that time was representing himself, unleashed what the Bay Area News Group described as chaotic, profanity-ridden pandemonium. He cycled through several attorneys after losing his right to represent himself, including one whom the outlet said he took a swing at in open court last year. On Monday, the attorneys at A.F. Bray Courthouse in Martinez had hoped the case would be coming to a close. Jurors had been seen listening to the defense's final witness, Randle's brother, around 11 a.m. when, according to a source at the scene, Randle jammed the pen into his attorney's head and again near his jaw. Once again, the attorney said it was actually much worse than it looked. He then headed toward Deputy District Attorney Kevin Bell, who had been standing near the jury box, but he never reached him. Quote, the courtroom was immediately cleared, Sheriff spokesperson Lee said. The fire department responded to assess both of the attorneys who refused medical attention. Bell is fine, having only a scratch on his finger, said the spokesperson for the Contra Costa County District Attorney. The case will resume Tuesday. We hopefully decide to forge ahead, according to the attorney. I'm like, damn, like the attorney is like, yeah, and I'm still going to represent him after all of that. Wow. So I'm glad I have an attorney at law on the show. How do you overcome this to the jury who just witnessed the client who's on trial for murder, try to murder, according to the new charges, because he's now charged with attempted murder, his own attorney in front of them? How in the hell do you defend someone like that? And it seems as if, based on the allegations, He was cold, calculated, and measured in trying to execute, basically, his ex-girlfriend, which he successfully did based on the allegation. What say you?
I think the judge is going to have to declare a mistrial since it happened in front of the jury, because we only convict people based on the evidence of the crime at hand. And so although he attacked his lawyer, technically that has nothing to do with the crime, but it is so prejudicial, right? It shows his maybe violent tendency or his willingness to attack his own attorney. It's so prejudicial. I don't see how they can move forward. And it's interesting because this is the second time he's done something like this.
Yep.
So this could be a tactic on his part. And so that for the next trial, they may have to not have him in the courtroom. That happens sometimes if they think that this person, can't be controlled, he can't be in the courtroom. I mean, if you shackle the defendant so much, that doesn't look good in front of the jury either. But yeah, the criminal defense attorneys deal with a lot, right? They deal with a lot. It is, when you speak with them, they're often passionate about the idea of everybody has a right to a trial, to declare their innocence, whether they are or not, to try to have their day in court. So they hear a lot. They're willing to represent a lot. But I do think that this particular one definitely, would have his maybe like gold star for attorney of the day, to be stabbed in your head and your jaw and then apparently not be bothered in the press. Good for him.
Yeah, I guess so. I would have said his ass need to be in jail. He just tried to attack me in the courtroom. I'm trying to launch a vigorous defense for the guy. I'm pissed off.